What is up, guys? How's it going? My name's Aram Joseph. Thank you guys for checking out the video. In today's video, we're going to be testing out 15 Windows desktop computers. I'll go ahead and show you guys what I'm talking about. I had taken these in before we did the whole lockdown, and then I was locked down for about 2 months. Sorry, it's a little bit dark. Let me see if I can... Let me go the other side. See if you get it better. So, about 15 of these desktop computers, and I had taken them in about 2.5 months ago. Or so, before we did the whole lockdown, and I never got around to scrapping them. So typically what I do with these desktop computers is that I go ahead and I test them. I connect them to a monitor, of course, and a power source to make sure that the motherboard is working. The hard drives are all destroyed, but the thing is, there's no purpose in me taking out the motherboard, testing it out later. I'd rather everything that's already been installed, test it out, see what the processor is, what type of motherboard, what type of RAM. I write it down, and then I disassemble them. Alright, so that's the video for today. We're gonna go ahead and disassemble 15 Windows-based computers. And these are the towers. We're gonna take out the hard drives, the motherboards, the power supplies, the CD drives, and I think that's it. the cases are going to be left on their own, and those are going to be recycled as such, as raw materials, whatever their composition is. So let's start. Alright, so in order for us to go ahead and test out these desktop computers, we have to have a monitor so that we can be efficient. Let me see. Make sure that you guys are in good view. There we are. That way, you know, we're efficient in terms of the time that we're using, and we're not going ahead and just disassembling the motherboard and everything out of the towers and then testing them, because then we have to put them in a different rig. So the way I do it is I just test it beforehand, of course, and then whatever works. I label them, I mark them, and then I disassemble them in their specific orders. So we'll go ahead and set this up and then see how it goes. Alright, we have the monitor set up. Here is the first tower. Go ahead, put it like this. Maybe I'll flip it like this, that way you can tell. Oh, there you go. It's a much better way of doing it. Perfect. Okay, let me attach a keyboard and we can see exactly what the specs are of this system. Alright, so we got a keyboard. You guys have a good view of the monitor. Now let's see what we got in store. Does F2 or escape? Let me zoom in. Okay, so we got an i7-4790 at 3.6 gigahertz. We have 8 gigabytes of RAM, and that's DDR3 RAM. The board, where is the board information? Maybe I'm not seeing it, I don't know. But preliminary booting up and everything, it works. So we're gonna go ahead, that's 1 for 1. Alright, let's zoom out. Let me just get the specs of the board, that way it's accurate. So I have the Asus HB1MC. Nice. So we got 1 for 1. Let's put that aside and move on to the next one. Alright, here's number 2. Sorry again for not being able to show you the full picture, but alright. Let's see what's up with this one. F2. Alright. So this one, that is the board model number. BH6110. I believe, I'm pretty sure that's the model number, but nonetheless, the processor is a 2nd gen i3 2120 at 3.3 gigahertz, and it has 8 gigabytes of RAM, and I'm pretty sure that's DDR3 as well, because it's the 2nd gen i3. That's 2 for 2, another system working. So let us write, this is an Intel board. No, okay, it's a DH61CR. Okay, and we have an i3 2120 with 8 gigabytes of RAM. Alright, not bad. 2 for 2. Alright, so we have number 3. Alright. Okay. So this is the board model number DH61BE. And it's an Intel board, as you saw. And we have an i5 3rd gen, it's a 3340 with 8 gigabytes of RAM. Nice. Alright guys, 3 for 3. Cool. I like it, it's going through quick. Once again, because this is one of my IT customers, I'm not checking the hard drive because the hard drive is not something that's going to be reused. They're all going to be destroyed. Okay, here is number 4. See how they all have different BIOS boot screens? Okay, so this is another Intel board and a different model once again. It's a DH61BF, not BE like the other one. It's a 3rd gen i5 3330 with 8 gigabytes of RAM. Cool. That's awesome. Here is number 5. Alright, this is another Intel DH61BF with an i5 3340 and 8 gigabytes of RAM. Awesome, 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 awesome. You know, my only problem with taking apart computers is that they carry a lot of dust, and it's not the most hygienic to have dust that filtered through someone else's home, goes through the system, set, be caked on, and all of a sudden when I'm taking things apart, that dust is flying back into the air while I'm taking out the motherboard or whatnot, and it's just going through the air inside my warehouse and eventually settling down on my own stuff. Okay, here is number 6. Okay, this one looks like a newer board. Newer board in the sense that the rest all had regular I/O, like a VGA, DVI. This one is a little bit different. So let's see. I think possibly this could be a DDR4 system. And no, I haven't checked ahead of time what they are. So pause the video, write down in the comments below, what system do you think this is? DDR4 or DDR3? I say DDR4. What did I say? Wow, that is awesome. It's a 7th gen i7 with 8 gigabytes DDR4. There you have it, guys. I just go through so many of these, you know? At some point it kind of becomes second nature to look for little signs. Not that that in itself is a sign. It's a tiny indication that it's a newer board. I have a lot of boards that have 3rd gen I series processors that are fit inside, and there's USB 3.0. Why I thought it was a DDR4 is just because of the type of ports that were available. Not that it was just a USB 3.0, but the fact that there wasn't a DVI port, there was a HDMI port, and typically from this specific customer of mine that I pick up regularly, probably once every 2 months or so, most of the boards are those Intel 3rd gen, 4th gen boards. So nonetheless, this is awesome. If my customer that I picked these up off of is watching, I'm very grateful. You guys are helping me pay the bills. Alright, so H110M. This is an i7 7700, 8 gigabytes RAM. We'll put in parentheses. Why did I put B? BBR. Oh, don't you love it when that happens? Look at that eraser. And I'm making it worse. Anyway, whatever, it doesn't have to be pretty. DDR4. Cool. So that was 6. Here is number 7. See, what I meant by the prior comment as far as the I/O, maybe if you take a look at this, you'll understand better what I'm talking about. Look at this I/O. Look at the ports, what's available. Typically you can tell this is an older board. Okay, this one, I believe read out like one of the first ones. So this is the 2nd gen i3 with 12 gigabytes of RAM. This is another Intel board. Let's see what model number it is. DH61ZE. And this is an i3 2100 and 12 gigabytes of RAM. That is number 7. Here is number 8. It has a 2nd gen i5 with 4 gigabytes of RAM. Alright, i5 2310 with 4 gigabytes of RAM. Not bad, everyone. Out of the 15, 8 of them so far all work. DH61ZE. Same as this one. Perfect. Alright, here is number 9. If you want to look at the I/O on this one, it's not as old as the other one, but not as new as the 7th gen i7 board. I mean, looking at the I/O is not like an amazing indicator of what you're expecting to see, but it is an indication of somewhat of the board's age. Okay, 3rd gen i5 DH61BF, that's an Intel board, and 8 gigabytes of RAM. And we have number 10. This is another old one, or older one. But see how I just had showed you 2 boards with different I/Os, and the processor I believe was both a 2nd gen. So go figure. You know, as I said, it's not an amazing indicator of what you're expecting to see, but I mean, I did get one right. That does mean something. So this is the weakest CPU we have. Settle down, settle down. You're fine, you're fine. I'll take care of you. Okay. So it has 4 gigabytes, right? So, and it's a Pentium E6600. I think this may be a DDR2 though. This is a DDR2 and the board is a DB43LD. Okay, that was number 10. Here is number 11. A little bit newer ports. It has both a DVI and a VGA. I'm forgetting what was the name of that pink really wide slot, but this one doesn't have it, basically. That's what I was trying to say. DH61BF, 3rd gen i5, and 8 gigabytes of RAM. i5 3330. Cool. Here is number 12. Looks like it will probably be the same thing. Has the same ports. Same thing, DH61BF, i5 3340 and 8 gigabytes of RAM. That was number 12. Alright, here's number 13. Same thing, DH61BF, i5 3340 and 8 gigabytes. Cool. Alright, so this one is number 14. It's probably the same thing, ports look the same. I'm only able to assume this because this is an IT company as a client, and they most probably have the same setup because it's a reliable setup. It's a setup that works with this specific type of motherboard and this configuration. So I'm able to freely assume. Ooh, alright. This one has been a little bit abused. We'll take care of you, don't worry. Shh. Okay. Alright. Same thing, BH6110. We're about to take off over here. i5 3330. And 8 gigabytes of RAM. Alright. Ooh. That was a 3330, right? Oh man, come on. I got so distracted with us taking off. Yep. Cool. Old dog. And here we have the last one. Number 15. Not bad. I did that one relatively quickly. Same thing. DH61BF. i5 3330. Total memory 8 gigs. Awesome. There we are. That's all 15. No, I think we're good. Relax. There you go. Alright. You got too much attention. Okay, alright, settle down. Perfect. Fit the whole page too. Alright, and there we have it. These are all 15 towers that I went ahead, tested, checked out to see if they worked. Sure enough, all 15 did function, and from there I went ahead and I wrote down all of the model numbers for the motherboards, as well as the processor that was inside, and the exact amount of RAM. So here is the list. We got 2 i7s. We have 2 i3s, and then I guess the other 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I take it back. The other 10 are i5s, and we have one Pentium here. But the score is the i7 7700, which ended up working with a motherboard that was able to handle DDR4 RAM at 8 gigabytes. So that's part 1 of testing out the 15 Windows desktop computers. Part 2 is going to be me disassembling these towers, going ahead and taking apart the motherboard, the power supply, the CD drive, the hard drive, cleaning them out, and then at the end you're going to see all of these cases. These towers are going to be put to one side where I'm going to recycle them as such as their whatever material they're composed of, which is probably steel housing. And yeah, that'll be it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and you know, keep a lookout for my next video. If videos like this interested you, if you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you spread the word. My channel is primarily on electronic recycling and what happens to our e-waste, specifically what happens to our electronics and how they can properly be disposed of, properly recycled, if they are sent to the right facilities such as mine. The other part of my channel is my entrepreneurial journey, and it shows the tips and tricks I use in my daily life to move ahead and become more successful and efficient. So that's a little introduction about who I am. If this is the first time you're on this channel, if this is the first time you've seen this video, thank you guys for checking it out. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please share this video with your friends, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment below. Let me know what's the next thing you want me to disassemble. See you guys there. Thank you.